Women believe that MGTOW is completely offensive, but they believe this in an ignorant manner rather than an intentionally antagonistic manner. However, rather than making me feel as though I am being attacked as a woman, I have the impression that they are undoubtedly biased owing to a lack of male responsibility for terrible things. The facts are given in a way that is devoid of any emotional overtones and seems to be extremely sincere. Therefore, although I have some reservations about the message that is being conveyed, I do like the fact that there is no indication of antagonism toward females. These kinds of stories continue on to imply that having sex with a male can be nothing but violent, which is preposterous and ludicrous to propose in the first place. Do the male members of MGTOW promote an ideology that promotes complete gender segregation? Do you seriously believe that women hold all of the power, which to me frequently appears to be entirely diffused? And how much of a duty do you think males have in the context of the dynamics of gender, in your opinion? It's hard to understand why men retain so much power and money, and whether or not patriarchy is a concept that you believe in. We don't want to disregard your perspective just because we find it difficult to comprehend. But I'm curious to find out if we're sexist, because we don't want to act as a sacrifice for women, and instead prefer to do things for ourselves on our own accord. MGTOW was not deliberately harsh, but rather passive, forceful, and far from misguided, because I'm a woman, and I wish to understand your perspective. Women, state companies, and cultural institutions throw a dense haze of covert control and manipulation in front of males to keep them blind. Once we see through this haze, it becomes evident that women purposefully complicate situations so that males must continue to jump through feminine hoops for the rest of their lives, to maintain conformity with what the female collective considers appropriate behavior. Many ladies have only given us sex after we have behaved properly. Typically, you reward us with your attention, affection, and procreation. If we attend a dinner party together, or if I purchase you the purse or flowers you've always desired, I will treat you. And if we don't, you toss us in the doghouse. Getting furious about it is a waste of time, since many of us in our mixed-race community have seen and experienced it long enough to know that this is a trait of women, and that getting angry about it is worthless. We're not upset when it rains because we have an umbrella, which is the internet. Our defense is our knowledge and the distribution of our rage. There are other female authors who assert that men are a problem and that all women should become lesbians. To me, these are women who fear men and our strength, as evidenced by feminist demonstrations. We are mostly street men as men, and we do not wish to participate in a movement that seeks to pit women against males. Despite the fact that some guys are harsh in bed, some women prefer it. It depends on individual preference. MGTOW believe that society maintains our discontent and dissatisfaction in order to increase our productivity. In reality, though, we are more productive when we are happy. However, society fears our happiness, and gender stereotypes can affect both men and women. According to your assertion, it's probable that women are more susceptible to stereotyping since they are more inclined to engage with others in groups, whereas men tend to be more independent due to their propensity to be lone wolves. I concur that stereotyping can sometimes be detrimental. However, because most men are unfamiliar with the female genocentrism, they require general information in order to comprehend the ideas and respond to your more in-depth questions about MGTOW. I have included instances from my own life, the lives of men I have known, and men with whom I have interacted in the community. You first asked, do we support complete gender segregation? While we do not desire complete gender segregation, many of us are satisfied to date and have relations with women on occasion. We will not, however, sacrifice our life or alter our behavior to accommodate some of the ludicrous demands that women can make of us. And we sincerely believe that women have all the power since they make up the majority of voters, despite the fact that our society is not composed of equal numbers of men and women. If men died 5 years earlier than women, there would be more women than men registered to vote. Consequently, women wield greater political influence than men. Recently, I brought up this topic in a chat with a woman, and she assumed it just applied to women. What about guaranteeing that men and women are equally represented? In my opinion, the male vote will never be equal to the female vote. You also wondered about the extent to which men are responsible for destroying gender relations. When males act as white knights to assist women in obtaining what they desire, rather than putting their own interests first, they wind up jeopardizing everyone else's. The men of today are despicable, and no one likes them. Not even males or females. No one loves weak-willed men. For the first time since I lost my childhood hairballs, I see women's behavior with my rational rather than emotional skills. Recently, one of my clients informed Gina that I was an alpha male. Regarding the raising of men and boys, women must assume more responsibility because they are the majority. You are ultimately responsible for creating a circumstance in which these boys grow up to be men and the gender dynamics of China suffer. You also ask why there are so many men in leadership positions in business and politics. The solution is straightforward. Men are entrepreneurs, creators, and innovators. Why shouldn't they generate money and essentially retain power for themselves? When men lose the ability to amass wealth and power, they cease innovating and caring, as there is no value in working for free. You also inquire whether I believe in any form of patriarchy. And my response is that the term patriarchy is used to deprive males of their rights by requiring them to share power equally. However, it is not about power. It concerns responsibilities. Men are responsible for maintaining the roads, factories, buildings, and other vital infrastructure. However, most women do not want to engage in construction or road repair, nor do they desire responsibilities. They want to work as city planners, instructing road crews on what repairs to make from behind a desk. Uncle once stated regarding the fictitious superhero Spider-Man that with great power comes tremendous responsibility. And the majority of women desire big male authority, but not great male responsibility. At least the majority do not desire this. Hopefully, I've educated you on what it means to be a MGTOW and a man, but women will never completely understand what it means to be a man unless they are forced to rely on themselves. None of the men receive freebies and handouts from one another. If I approached most of my friends for free assistance with a project, they would typically advise me to take a hike. However, if I provide the funds, they will arrive on time. Women are permitted to use their beauty to solicit free favors from males, and there is always a white knight or manga available to perform these feminine privilege-related favors. Men will never possess this. I wish I had access to female privileges, but I've never been able to, so to speak, work what my mother gave me. Try doing everything in your life without assistance and see how it goes. Alternatively, do everything for yourself and help the random man here and there. Then you'll realize that it stinks to be a typical guy in our culture, as numerous ladies have approached me for favors. To help us, please watch this video. Please subscribe and send this video to anybody you think will benefit from it the most.